Baby, you know that I miss you. I wanna get with you tonight, but I cannot, baby girl, and that's the issue. Girl, you know I miss you. I just wanna kiss you, but I can't right now. So baby, kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. I'll see you later on. Later on. Kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. See you when I get home. Get home.
Baby, I know that you like me. You my future wifey. Soulja boy, tell him yeah, you can be my bunny. I can be your Clyde. You can be my wife. Text me, call me, I need you in my life. Yeah, all that, every day I need you. And every time I see you, my feelings get deeper. I miss ya, I miss ya. I really wanna kiss you, but I can't.
Said I can't, 999 Baby, you know that I miss you. I wanna get with you tonight, but I cannot, baby girl, and that's the issue. Girl, you know I miss you. I just wanna kiss you, but I can't right now. So baby, kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. I'll see you later on. Later on. Kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. See you when I get home. Get home.
Baby, I've been thinking lately so much about you. Everything about you, I like it, I love it. Kissing you in public, thinking nothing of it. Roses by the dozen, talking on the phone. Baby, you so sexy, your voice is so lovely. I love your complexion. I miss ya, I miss ya, I miss ya. I really wanna kiss you, but I can't.
Said I can't, 999 Baby, you know that I miss you. I wanna get with you tonight, but I cannot, baby girl, and that's the issue. Girl, you know I miss you. I just wanna kiss you, but I can't right now. So baby, kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. I'll see you later on. Later on. Kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. See you when I get home. Get home.
She call my phone like we on the phone like we taking pics like she dial my number like
678 Baby, you know that I miss you. I wanna get with you tonight, but I cannot, baby girl, and that's the issue. Girl, you know I miss you. I just wanna kiss you, but I can't right now. So baby, kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. I'll see you later on. Later on. Kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. See you when I get home. When I get home.
Kiss me through the phone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, and I hope you had a tremendously uplifting morning and you are all ready to impress the boss, because I'm in the studio and it's Ini and the show is called All Things Considered. We have a hot topic for this morning. Yes, must follow relationship rules. Just in case your relationship is falling apart, or even if it's not falling apart, who cares? You just have to follow some relationship rules, and anything for edification right here. And Ini, with All Things Considered, of course, we consider all sorts of topics. It's a hot topic talk show, and many people say that they love the topics that I bring into the show. So I just hope that you're going to be listening to me till 12 p.m. today, and we are going to be sharing around 25 relationship rules to keep your relationship going, maintaining that love and that bond between you and your loved one. And yesterday we were talking about some really cool things as well about relationships as well. And we got some absolutely wonderful music here. And in case you are spending your morning with your loved one at home, well, lucky you. Starting today, we've got Billy Ray Cyrus. We haven't heard this in a while. Achy Breaky Heart.
You can tell the world you never was my girl.
And just in case you're nursing an achy breaky heart, we're going to fix that this morning. Oh, come on.
Friends, just what a fool I've been, and laugh and joke about me on the phone. You can tell my arms go back into the phone. You can tell my feet to hit the floor. Or you can tell my lips to tell my fingertips they won't be reaching out for you no more. Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, I just don't think he'd understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, he might blow up and kill this man. You can tell your ma I moved to Arkansas, or you can tell your dog about my leg. Go tell your brother Cliff, whose fist can tear my lip, he never really liked me anyway. Or tell your Aunt Louise, tell anything you please, a separated note, not okay. And you can tell my eyes to watch out for my mind, it might be walking out on me today. But don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, I just don't think he'd understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, he might blow up and kill this man.
Welcome to the show. If you just walked into the office, yes, we are doing Must Follow Relationship and happy couples today. So if you are thinking that maybe you should give up your relationship, wait, don't go yet. We might just be able to salvage this relationship. Okay, stick with that.
Think he'd understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, he might blow up and kill this man. No, don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, I just don't think he'd understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, he might blow up and kill this man. Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, I just don't think he'd understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, he might blow up and kill this man.
Good morning and hello, sunshine and love and hugs to everybody that's online. And I hope that you are going to stay till 12 p.m. because, as I said, yesterday we had all the compliments that you can pay your guy, and you know, vice versa. The guys can also pay compliments to the women, and the different areas that you can, you know, pep them up in. Not like you're going to, like, you know, drop your guard down and say what's not true. You have to say what's true. But the whole point is, you know, spiritually, we are looking for good in everybody. We're looking at the good. You know, don't worry about the bad, because that will, like, sort of round its edges once you start tapping the good. You know, it's always a rule in relationships that if you are looking for the jagged ends, those jagged ends are going to poke you back. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to sting you back and poke you back, and you're going to bleed. So don't look for the jagged ends. The trick is to look for the rounded ends, and the rounded ends are the nice parts. So, you know, the more you, you know, pep up the good parts in your partner, and the more you, you know, highlight that and take note of it and make mention of it and acknowledge it, then why not? Because, you know, you just bring out the best in the person. And I remember this wonderful story about my, you know, son. And, you know, I used to always, like, break my head over homework and, you know, finishing on time and things like that. And I used to always, like, you know, get upset with him when he never used to do his homework and do it on time. And he used to always daydream. And, you know, and not that he couldn't do it. He, you know, he's capable. But I used to always say, but why aren't you doing it? And you should finish it quickly. And then I realized, you know, the more I shouted at him, it's like, you know, when you talk to a plant and you keep saying to this plant, you know, I wish it'd grow. Why why aren't you giving me flowers that I require? You know, it's like putting all that negative energy into this plant and it's going to wilt away. And that's exactly what I found, because I realized that, you know, even if he didn't do that well, and I said, oh, you completed 2, that's lovely, and let's have a look, and you're so good, you're doing so well. You know, the more I started praising him, the better he performed. And the more I started, you know, bringing out the negatives and say, why didn't you, and use the word didn't and not, and, you know, couldn't you have, the more he wilted, really. And, you know, then I realized very early in life that, you know, like with my kids, and I realized that, you know, all relationships grow on that. So let's get on with our music so we can start our relationship rules as soon as possible. I've got a lineup for you guys. I've handpicked every single one of them. I really have taken time to do this, so you have to stay. We've got Chicago, and we've got The Whispers, Madonna, and Fugees, and Justin Bieber, and John Cicada, and Lionel Richie, and The Carpenters, I remember somewhere in there, and Phil Collins. Yeah, all the music, all the feel-good music, so you've got to stay. Okay, there you go. Lionel Richie all night long coming up. This is Capital Radio, you with Ini, and the show's called All Things Considered. My talk show is going to rock your morning.
Well, my friends, the time has come. Raise the roof and have some fun. Throw away the work to be done. Let the music play on.
Stay tuned for the weather.
Sing, everybody dance. Lose yourself in wild romance. We're going to party, caramba, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing along. We're going to party, caramba, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing along. All night long. All night. All night long. All night. All night long. All night. All night long. People dancing all in the street. See the rhythm all in their feet. Life is good, wild and sweet. Let the music play on. Feel it in your heart and feel it in your soul. Let the music take control. We're going to party, climbing, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing along. We're going to party, climbing, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing my song. All night long. Oh, all night long. Yes, all night long. All night long.
And a classic right here. If you leave me now, Chicago. And I said, don't leave right now. We've got so many ideas for you to fix this. And you better believe that we have this in the bag. We are definitely going to turn your relationship around for you today. Yes, we're going to sprinkle lots and lots of stars and happy sprinkles. What you call that? Little things. Yes, those, I don't know, sparkles?
You are capable of anything. You can achieve any dream. Please don't limit yourself. Don't live your life limited. It's not all sadness and misery. Life's a challenge, but you will succeed. Take control of how you feel in every circumstance. Work on yourself daily. Your story's far from done. The best is yet to come. To achieve, you must believe you can live out all your dreams.
and believe you have the power today to change everything under the sun.
You have to believe in yourself. You don't have to hide anything. You can be your true self. Don't need to follow society. Never forget that you're blessed. Give thanks for everything. Even the hard times will turn out to be blessings. No matter how you feel, you can learn from your pain. It's there to make you great. Your story's far from done. The best is yet to come. To achieve, you must believe. You can live out all your dreams. Persevere, you'll make it through. What you need is all in you. When you believe, you will achieve. You can live out all your dreams. It's about time you knew the truth. You got the power all in you. To achieve, you must believe. You can live out all your dreams. Persevere, you'll make it through. What you need is all in you. When you believe, you will achieve. You can live out all your dreams. It's about time you knew the truth. You got the power all in you.
Capital Radio, it is, and I hope that you've joined me. We've got all the feel-good songs today, yes. And if you want to send your requests, please feel free to do so. I just got a whopping list from, well, an anonymous, and it's a beautiful list of Tonight I Celebrate My Love for You, and I Will Always Love You, and When I Need You, all the feel-good songs. And if you feel like listening to anything special, because it's Relationship Day, you can send me your WhatsApp on 0654211380, and I'll certainly try and look for it for you on our playlist and on our library here, and get it on my playlist rather. But you know, we're talking about relationships and rules especially, and like everything else, you know, successful relationships and love too is based on a few rules, and these are some of the rules I'm going to share with you. You probably never heard before, because you know, people talk about certain rules like, you know, respect and you know, giving the other person their space, but then that's about it. And to many people, you know, love is like pretty tricky and pretty confusing, and you've got to pride yourself on being honest and truthful, and not easy to do, especially when you have a partner that might be, you know, getting you to walk around eggshells. But that only happens because of the negative you put out, and it's been said time and time and again that, you know, if you praise your partner and bring out the best, which we did yesterday, yes, and if you want a script of that, you are welcome to write me into 065 421-1380 again, and to ask for that script. I will definitely share it with you, because nothing here is a secret. And at Capital, we're always extending out to help you guys. So, we're a feel-good station. We're a share-all station, and most certainly nothing is a secret here. When we say it on air, you can certainly take it from me. But, like everything else as well, the relationships are not a bed of roses. You've heard that before. That's a cliche. It's sticky, it's confusing, it's really, really, to many others, almost like a mirage, like it's there, it was there, and then suddenly the love is gone, and you don't know where, and, it's usually like, oh yeah, the love flew out of the window. But it's because you don't maintain that love between you two, and that's what experts have been saying time and time again. Maybe we don't listen, okay? So there may be relationships, and still that haven't actually experienced true love. True love is really looking at the other person unconditionally, and you know that the other person has flaws, has faults, has imperfections, but you took them with all the imperfections, and sorry you didn't see them, but at the end of the day, it was there, and it doesn't matter if you see them later, because you've got to live and work with it rather than work against it. And the more you work with it, the more it will flow, and it'll give you good energies between you two. And the rules that you place, I mean, they're not rules like you're going to write them down and put them on the wall or something, but you certainly are going to have a written version of it somewhere in your mind, and you're going to be following this. And it's good to sit and discuss what kind of rules can we follow, what are things that we both can adhere to make this easier. And I promise you, you have a much more lasting relationship if you do. But there are a few relationship rules that can change, and like drifting relationship into a romantic one. So you do want that, you want to take it there. But as trivial and simple as they may seem, some of the rules, it's something that needs a lot of effort. It might seem simple, like respect each other, and that's it, a few words, but it's hard to respect each other's privacy, respect each other's space, respect each other for who they are, respect each other for their talents, their skills, and of course respect each other for their non-talents, their non-skills as well. So that it's easier said than done. Okay, so we are going to be sharing, and someone once said that falling in love should be an effortless thing, and it really is sometimes for most of us. About 80% I think of them fall in love quite easily, but staying in love is the challenge, and that's where the rules are going to come in. So we're going to be playing lots of nice music today, and tonight I Celebrate My Love coming up, I don't know, for Anonymous. Oh, I forgot to say, a woman needs love comes first.
Woman needs a love just like you do. Don't kid yourself into thinking that she don't. She can fool around just like you do.
Oh yeah.
Unless you give her all the loving she wants. Don't make the mistake of thinking old-fashioned. Times have changed from yesterday. No longer will those old double standards be accepted by the women of today. So when you think you're fooling her, she just might be fooling you. Remember, if you can do it, she can too. Because a woman needs a love just like you do. Hey, don't kid yourself into thinking that she don't. She can fool around just like you do. Unless you give
just like you. And if you're smart, just like you better stop fooling around, hey, hey. 'Cause she will too. Oh, just like you do. Thinking that she don't. Just like you do. Now an example to you is by the time poor Jack returned up the hill, somebody else had been loving Jill. A woman needs love just like you do. Hey, don't kid yourself into thinking that she done. She can fool around. She will fool around. So you better take out some insurance and be sure she won't give her that love. Just like you do. That sweet, sweet love. She wants it just like you. She can fool around just like she.
Promise is a promise.
Tonight I celebrate my love for you. It seems the natural thing to do.
Tonight, no one's gonna find us. We'll leave the world behind us. When I make love to you,
Tonight I celebrate my love for you and hope that deep inside you feel it too.
tonight our spirits will be climbing to a sky lit up with diamonds. When I make love to you,
Tonight I celebrate my love for you and that midnight sun is gonna come shining through.
tonight there'll be no distance between us.
What I want most to do is to get close to you tonight. Tonight I celebrate my love for you, and soon this old world will seem brand new.
Tonight we will both discover how friends turn into lovers. When I make love to you,
Tonight I celebrate my love for you and that midnight sun is gonna come shining
tonight there'll be no distance between us.
What I want most to do is to get close to you tonight. I celebrate my love for you tonight.
My love,
Endless love.
there's only you in my life.
And I hope you guys are going to stay with me because I've got the greatest music in town this morning.
My first love.
Mariah Carey and Luther Vandross.
I want to share all my love. No one else will do. You know, and your eyes, they tell me how much you care. Oh yes, you will always be my endless Two hearts that beat as one. Our lives have just begun, and forever, I'll hold you close in my arms. I can't resist your charms. No, 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 no. And love, I'll be a fool for you. I'm sure you know I don't mind. No, you know I don't mind. Baby, 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 you mean the world to me. I know I find in you my endless love. I'll be that fool for you, baby. So that you know I don't mind. You know I don't mind. You'll be the only one. No one can deny this love I have inside, and I'll give it all to you. My endless
Oh, wasn't that just absolutely amazing? And you are listening to. There you go, and you're spoiled for choice. You know, you can go onto Mixcloud and you can go onto Radio Guide, and if you really want to take a peep into what happens in the studio, and don't mind me because I'm always laughing at something that somebody sends or some kind of a joke on that I've got on my phone. So don't mind me, and if I'm going to spread the good cheer, why not? But I just want to say to all of you that we're doing relationships, and it's not the best of topics to handle. And I'm no expert, but I have done my homework, and I've gone through the net and had a look at what are the suggestions for holding a really good relationship. And rule number one that comes to mind here is you need to try and love your partner unconditionally, and and to do it, even if it seems hard and even if it seems selfish, you've got to sacrifice everything and give it your go, because otherwise, everything's going to fall apart. You can't possibly have all the negatives in your head when you're talking to this person or looking at this person every day. It's got to be unconditional love. So what is unconditional love? Because it's very hard to sometimes define it. It's more like an experience, and experts say that unconditional love is an experience more than something that you can explain. It's very hard to explain it. And unconditional means that I will not ever take into account all the negatives, of that person, and I will love them no matter what. Now, it's very, very hard to do that, especially when you know that somebody has flaws, and we all have flaws. How do we overlook these flaws? If somebody has shortcomings and they have a temper and they're always shouting at us, and and when I say us, I mean the other person in the party, not necessarily me, but if they're shouting at, the partner, it's very hard to put that out of the way and then the next time be loving towards a person. But, it's really, really possible. And so what's the secret of that? The secret really is to, not get into arguments and argue over every little thing, and that is in itself is hard to do. So how do you do that? You just have to look at everything from a point of view as an event. This is an event, and this is happening right now, and I don't agree with this event right now. It's done. It's finished. I can say what I want to and move on. Okay, and you agree to disagree, and you send it off. That's it. So you don't carry on holding that against the partner. And that is very, very difficult to do, because it's almost like unselfish love. It's not about you winning the argument all the time, and you must think from your partner's perspective when it comes to matters of the heart. Like yesterday, I was dealing with compliments, and I must say, I kept diverting and coming back to think of it from their perspective, because when, like, for example, one of the things we spoke about yesterday was letting guys to meet with their buddies and go, because they really do need that. They need that very, very much, because obviously they are not going to open their hearts out to you as a wife. They're not going to do that, and vice versa. So they will only do that to their buddies. And when you look at it, you've got to let them go, because then they can vent somewhere else, and then they can come back into that relationship and really feel good that you allowed them that space, instead of complaining and saying, oh, you left me with all the work, and you left me with the kids, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do that, and you don't ever come and help me, and I'm really tired, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about that, because that's very important, to give that person, when you say give them space, we mean physical space. Yeah, go, go and vent somewhere else, and you can take out all the frustration somewhere else and come back and see me, and I'll have a happy face, and you can have a happy face, because talking about it really does make a difference. Okay, that's great. And we are going to be doing We Are Family right now. Sisters Led. Islands in the Stream. It's Dolly Parton.
Baby, when I met you, there was peace unknown. I set out to get you with a fine-tooth comb. I was soft inside. There was something going on. You do something to me that I can't explain. Hold me closer and I feel no pain. Every beat of my heart, we got something going on. Tender love is blind, it requires a dedication. All this love we feel needs no conversation. We ride it together, making love with each other. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. From one lover to another. I can't live without you if the love was gone. Everything is nothing if you got no one, and you just walk in the night, slowly losing sight of the real thing. But that won't happen to us, and we got no doubt. Too deep in love, and we got no way out, and the message is clear. This could be the year for the real thing. No more will you cry, baby, I will hurt you never. We start and end as one, in love forever. We can ride it together, making love with each other. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. From one lover to another. Sail away. Come sail away with me. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. From one lover to another. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. From one lover to another. Islands in the stream.
Manhattan, Shining Star. This is such a great song. And at one time, I remember everybody was singing it. We all knew the words by heart.
Honey, you are my shining star. Don't you go away. Oh, baby, wanna be right here where you are till my dying day.
Okay, and we are doing relationships and how to maneuver, manipulate, whatever you want to do. But we've got some rules, guys, and we need to, find out how to fight fair, because I think it boils down to really having a fight, because the arguments are going to be there anyway, so we can't run away from the arguments. The arguments, obviously, and as soon as possible, when you finish the argument, try hugging each other. Yes, instead of huffing and puffing and walking away from each other. And I've got this little joke. Whenever I used to huff, puff, and walk away, my sleeve used to always get stuck in the door handle. It was like a sign, the moment I used to like walk away in a huff and a puff. Why is it that my sleeve always gets stuck into the door handle when I do that? And then God was trying to tell me, hey, come back here. You haven't finished your hug. Okay, so I used to always laugh about that. But no, seriously, that used to always happen. But we are going to be sharing thoughts on how to fight fair, because there is such a thing as fighting fair. Absolutely, you can fight fair. And so I'm going to give you a little pointers about that as well. But fights in love are normal, absolutely normal. The best way to do it is to hug after that. Try. And even if you just have to hold hands and say, all right, we agree to disagree, no matter what this thing is. And never end a fight, as quickly as you need to go out or something. Never start a fight when you are about to go out in 5 minutes, because you drive off with that horrible feeling. And that's one of the relationship rules. Don't ever start a fight or ask about something awkward, and it's going to take forever for my for my partner to actually explain this, and you want to give them like 5 minutes. Okay, that's not going to do, and you're going to be walking away in such disarray, and everything's going to go wrong thereafter. When you're angry, everything goes wrong. You've got to take it easy, calm yourself down, and that's how life proceeds better, actually. But understanding how to fight fair in a relationship is crucial for the success of any relationship. So that is what we are going to be doing a little bit more after we give you some more little bit of relationship rules. So number 4 is make hay whilst the sun shines. When things are good between you two guys, be as romantic as possible. Go out for ice cream and share the touch and the feeling good with each other, because you're not going to do it when you're angry with each other. So to just make up for it, and scheduling time to spend together, and alone time, and making your popcorn, sitting in front of the movie screen or whatever, that's good at home. And you can really get a home fire going or whatever, but communicate with each other and grow together in love. And that's what it is. Never grow apart. So because and it's easier said than done. Again, everybody says, yeah, but these rules, it's not that easy. But we when we talk about fighting fair, it kind of gives you a lot of what I'm saying now, how to communicate with each other, grow together, because fighting is about growing, and that's the main thing. It's not so much when times are happy, it's more when you are fighting, you need to grow together, and you never ever grow apart by lack of communication. I've seen that where two people want to be together, but they just can't communicate with each other. The moment they open their mouths, it's venom and frogs jumping out. So and I have been in situations where I've looked at each one of them, given them that kind of look. Okay, you don't need to say it like that. Let's be a little kind here, okay? But it's very awkward when you're the third person in there. You know what I mean, okay? But how to communicate in love, that's another thing that you have to learn. Learn to give space to each other, and that is the most important thing. The one thing that experts say over and over again, remember, when things fall apart, when things go skew, when things go wrong in the relationship, that person cannot communicate that with you. They're not going to be discussing this with you because you are the problem, you are the issue, the house is the issue. They will want to vent. They would have to give way to those feelings. And the only way they're going to give way to those feelings is if they walk away, go away, spend some time with other people, neutral people. Okay, sometimes it's not so neutral. Friends can really be a bother because they can influence the person. But, if you pray and you look at things positively and you are good to the friends and you approve of the buddies, and coming home and invite them home for a meal now and then, and show them that you want to play fair in this as well. Everything should be fine, because then when they need to take your part, they will take your part because you're a good person. Okay, they can't take your part if you always complaining about their them as friends of the other party in the marriage or the relationship. I mean, imagine this now. You in a relationship, you've got this boyfriend, and the boyfriend has buddies, and you're always complaining to him about the buddies, or you don't like them, or you shut the door on their faces. They're not going to take your part when it comes to a relationship. If anything, they're going to say, leave her or leave him. So you need to keep a good relationship with the buddies in order for them to see things fairly when your husband or your spouse or your partner goes to them to start talking about, or the wife, and then they can say, yeah, but I can see why he's saying that, or I can see why she's saying that, just give it time or whatever. But that space is so important, that they go away and talk to someone else, because when they come back, they're in a different frame of mind. They're more open to what you're saying, because, I mean, you know what? They've ratted with somebody else. It's finished, okay? So they've got their perspective and they come back. But, the other thing is that never, ever discuss what was discussed outside of that. So don't say, but that's why my buddies are saying this about you. Oh, that's terrible, because now you've really, really, brought the chilies out. So, let's talk about, being private about that and just leaving that aside. John Cicada, just another day coming up. We've got such wonderful music here for you this morning. Yeah, you can do your Cape Town jive right now, hey? I can imagine you guys. There you go, kick your shoes off. There you go. I love the Cape Town jive. I did the Cape Town jazz. It's just about everything, yeah, in a dance. Jerusalem, you've got nothing on the Cape Town jazz, eh?
Every time we together, it never
Material Girl. Madonna.
Some boys kiss me, some boys hug me. I think they're okay. If they don't give me proper credit, I just walk away. They can beg and they can plead, but they can't see the light. 'Cause the boy with the cold hard cash is always Mr. Right. 'Cause we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. You know that we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. Some boys roam and some boys slow down. That's alright with me. If they can't raise my interest, then I have to let them be. Some boys try and some boys lie, but I don't let them play. No way. Only boys that save their pennies make my rainy day. 'Cause we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. You know that we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. Boys may come and boys may go, and that's alright, you see. Experience has made me rich, and now they're after me. 'Cause everybody's living in a material world, and I am a material girl. You know that we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. Living in a material world, and I am a material girl. You know that we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl.
In a material world. There you go. And this is the More Music radio station. Yes, anything else is a compromise. So stay with us until 12 p.m. And I'm Innie, and the show is called All Things Considered. In case you've never joined me before, welcome, welcome, welcome. Because this is a show that takes you to new heights when it comes to education and finding out about different topics. And tomorrow we're doing, how to sell your house and the pros and cons of selling it privately or, going with an agent. So, if you are thinking about it, that's something that you need to join me on. But, we're doing relationships, and it's not an easy topic. And I've done all the research I can. So I've actually put it in a nice, neat little package here for you. And, and we are going to be looking a little bit more about how to fight fair in a relationship, but giving space and never taking each other other for granted. Never take, their contribution to the marriage or the relationship or the partnership for granted, because, this is the easiest way to actually fall prey to affairs and arguments. And, when you start taking somebody for granted and you're not giving them the compliments and you're not praising them for who they are, and we're not saying praise them all the time for nothing, we're saying, but at least acknowledge that they have positives, and everybody has positives, and we need to acknowledge it and say, listen, thank you for doing that, and thank you for being this, and thank you for, because you're looking at other relationships, and come on, you are looking at other relationships with their negatives, and often you don't have that kind of negative in your marriage or on your relationship, and you need to actually acknowledge that. And it's very hard because you want to like open your mouth and say something, and then sometimes you say, nah, I'd rather not say it, but say it. Pluck up the courage and pick up the courage to do it, because when you do it, I promise you, when you say it once and you say it twice, okay, it's like almost like, getting a kickstart on an engine. But once you start, saying thank you, saying the praises, and getting it over, and you'll find it gets easier and easier and easier. That's what experts also say, because, once you start, it almost feels like corny to say, oh, you did that so well, or I really admire you, on how you do certain things and how you handle people. And I know somebody that, I'm talking about just in general. I know somebody that can, that can really be upset with someone, but when they pick up the phone and that person is calling, this person can be so sweet with them, and really, really, even if there's any help that person wants, this person will go all out of their way to do it. And I often used to admire that and say, that you do this so well. I mean, when you're angry with that person, how can you extend help? How can you be good? And how can you even pick up the phone and say, hey, how are you doing? Because your heart fall apart. But you see, you can learn from each other. And I'm sure that your partner has some positives that you can learn from. Maybe you're not that tidy. Maybe you don't know how to put things into boxes, and that person can do it. And it's all about praise. And the relationship can survive, just on praise and good love, and, and not taking people for granted, and giving them their space. And the other thing is, say a white lie when you need to. Sometimes you need to. You don't have to tell your partner everything, because sometimes it's just won't work out that way. But, especially if it's going to hurt them a little bit. But if it's a lie that won't change your relationship, say you went to your mother's house and the partner doesn't like you spending too much time with your mother, well, sometimes you just have to lie, But listen, it's not going to harm anybody. Not that you went there and started gossiping about them. And we're not encouraging that, but yes, okay, you can, if it's not going to affect your relationship, the experts say, but, it will make your partner feel happy if you can just tell the truth, and, and shame the devil, as they say. And never shy away from positive criticism. This is the praise we're talking about. Never shy away. People are shy to say, oh, you handle that so well, or, but never shy away, because as long as you don't say it, it becomes pushed under the carpet. And remember that some other person out there is going to point it out. Some other person is waiting to grab onto your partner, and he or she is going to say it, and that person is going to make your partner feel great, and that person is going to land up with your partner, and you're going to land up alone. If you think about that little route that the little route that I drove your car through right now. So, from having a partner, just think about it. I'd rather just say what I need to say, and thank my partner for this, and praise my partner for this, and not rat when, he needs to be with his friends, or she needs to be with her friends. If you can do that, then just think, okay, next year I'm going to still have my partner. Okay, but if you don't do it, the chances are that somebody else is going to come by and do this. There you go. And we are doing, guess what? I've got such a classic for you, right? And this is a classic that has been really, really, really ripped apart in Idols, Killing Me Softly.
Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his just kept right on strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. Strumming my pain with his fingers. Yes, he was singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song.
Sailing away on the crest of a wave, it's like magic. All rolling and riding and sleeping and sliding, it's magic. And you and your sweet desire, you took me higher and higher, baby. It's a living thing. It's a terrible thing to lose. It's a given thing. What a terrible thing to lose. Making believe this is what you can see from your worst day.
I'm taking a dive.
All moving in line when you look back in time to the first day.
I'm taking.
And you and your sweet desire,
Don't you do it?
higher and higher, baby.
And if you're enjoying the music, please send me your WhatsApp with 10 songs and I will fit it in at some stage during the week. I promise you. We've got enough days, 5 days, 3 hours. We can definitely do this. Missing You, Brandy Tamaya, and Gladys Knight.
So suddenly, so fast. How could it be that our sweet memories would be all that we have left? Now that you're gone, every day I go on, but life's just not the same. I'm so empty inside, and my tears I can't hide. But I'll try to face the pain. Though I'm missing you, although I'll find a way to get through. I'll find a way living without you. 'Cause you were my sister, my strength, and my pride. Only God may know why. Still, I will get by.
There were so many things that we could have shared. If time was on our side. Ooh, yeah. Now that you're gone, I can still feel you near. So I'll smile with every tear I cry. Though I'm missing you, I'll find a way to go through. I'll find a way living without you. 'Cause you were my sister, my strength and my pride. Only God may know why. Still, I will get by. Sweet were the closest of friends, but I wait for the day when I'll see you again. See you again. But I found a way to get through. Living without you. You were my sister, and my pride. Only God may know why. I will get but you were my sister, my strength and my pride. Only God may know why. Still, I will get missing you. Oh, yes, I am. I'm missing you.
Yes, there we go. We are still talking about relationships, and it's such a happy morning this morning. I'm just all smiles because I'm getting absolutely fabulous, hilarious messages. So yes, to keep them coming, all my friends. But anyway, we're talking about, how to keep these relationships going because it can't be easy, and easier said than done on many things. But, one of the things that we have to do is we have to stay positive, and it's very hard to stay positive when everybody else is trying to be negative, around you, and especially when it comes to sensitive topics like children. So what are the rules when it comes to children? And the experts say that one person should deal with the children, and the other person should sit back and say nothing. So when you are going to be dealing with an issue with children, often there's crossing swords. Often that the mother doesn't agree with the father, or if you are in a partnership, in your relationship with somebody that you're not married with, yes, most certainly there's going to be crossing swords, because that person doesn't even have the jurisdiction to even talk, on behalf of you to your children, and often that has not been made clear in a temporary relationship, and suddenly you find that your kids are going to town with their savings or bank cards or whatever it is, or they've done something terrible and you need help with this, and you call the third person in. But the issue is that when you're in a relationship, experts say you have to get permission from the children that you can do that in the first place. So you that's how you keep the peace. But if you're going to just bring that person in, there might be some insults flung their way, and that's not going to be very nice if your child turns around and says, "You've got no right to say this to me," because that can be very, very embarrassing, if not damaging to your relationship. So be a little bit smart here. So take the permission first from the kids, and if you don't have a problem, they don't have a problem, they say, "Yeah, that's fine. This person can stand in to be dad or mum or whatever in the meanwhile," then you can add that person into the discussion. But when you do that as well, always be smart enough to discuss this issue outside of the children being around. And then, when you decide that that's it, you've decided that there's a way out of this, and these are the things we're going to impose. This is the thing that I'd like to say is your punishment, or we don't say punishment, but discipline action. But if you're not going to have your technology for 1 week or whatever, then it must come from the parent, the biological parent, and it must come from that one person. The other person can be there, but in the background, and that person can't say a word, because if you do, if that person does, then it can lead up to arguments. So I think that's a very, very important rule in a relationship. I think dealing with children, and if you are the biological parents of the children or the teenagers or whatever, then both of you need to discuss this at a dinner date or something, other than in front of the children. Have your disagreements in whatever the discipline action is going to be, and then come to the party and then start addressing the children and talking to them and saying, well, we've decided, but choose a spokesperson and keep to that spokesperson, and don't jut in and don't interfere and don't say, "Oh no, we didn't discuss that," or "We didn't say that." That can be even more damaging, when you want to interject and say something that wasn't said, because then the children say, "Oh, there's a loophole." And children can do that. So, that's important. And I thought that, that was very, very useful and highly welcome to read. But, whatever it is in dealing with children, be the shoulder to lean on no matter what. It's tough bringing up children, but you need to be there. Even in other issues, tough times. It's the most testing times of relationships, when somebody needs you, they've lost their job or something's not going right. But stand by your partner, whether it's a fight against a child, or whether it's issues with work or whatever. Stand by your partner, and when the storm ends, then the love will be far brighter. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay, there you go. We've got some fantastic music. Thank you for WhatsApping me and saying that you're going to send me 10 songs and on the for requests, and I will gladly, as I said, find time to play them. Thank you for all your participation there. And yes, you can send me the 10 songs. There's a competition going at the moment, and I'll tell you a little bit about that just after the Dancing Queens have finished ABBA. A classic favorite of everybody, Dancing Queen, ABBA, and nobody sits down for the song. And you're listening to Capital Radio, and we are going to be doing the weather right now. Yes, and the day weather is 22 degrees Celsius and real feel 23 degrees Celsius. And the real feel in the shade is exactly the same, 22 degrees Celsius. So you don't have to run for the shade. Can't do that. Cloudy with a thunderstorm, so avoid all trees, hey. Maximum UV index is 2, and that is low. Great news for that. Wind north to northeasterly, and it's 7 kilometers per hour on the wind there, and the wind gusts are coming in at 15 kilometers per hour. Probability of precipitation is 62%, and probability of thunderstorms is 37%. Yeah, so you better carry your brolly. And your rain is going to be 20.5 millimeters today, and hours of precipitation is going to be 2 hours of rain is going to be 2 hours as well. And cloud cover for today is 99%. Okay, so we have been feeling very, very hot in Durban. So just as well, we welcome the cool weather. And 19 degrees low temperatures this afternoon, or evening rather, and real feel is 19 as well. And evening showers expected. Otherwise, it's going to be overcast, and the wind at 9 kilometers per hour, northerly wind coming in, and wind gusts at 15 kilometers per hour, and your probability of precipitation is 62%, and you're going to have 2 hours of rain, and your millimeters and rain is going to be 3.2 millimeters this evening, and probability of thunderstorms is going to be 16%, so don't leave your washing out, eh? And your cloud cover is going to be 96% as well. And sunset coming in at 6:02. There you go. And that's the weather from Capital. A little bit more music coming up right now. And guess what? It is a love thing. Whispers.
It's a love thing. It's a love thing. It's a love thing. The look in your eyes is more than enough to make my poor heart burst into flame. Knew from the moment we met that there was no doubt that my life would never be the same. And I could never have this feeling that comes over me. When you're near me, I know that's how it's supposed to be. My heart is telling me it's a love thing. Yeah. And the talking in my sleep about the love we made. It's a love thing. It's a love thing. Such a feeling I get whenever we touch, girl, like no other I felt before. It's still so new, and yet I need you so much to make you mine forevermore. You're the kind of woman that can turn my world around. 'Cause you show me what unselfish love is all about. Without a doubt, it's a love thing. Yeah. I feel that pounding in my heart when you call my name. It's a love thing. It's a love thing. It's a love thing. Every time that you're near, it becomes so clear. It's a
MJ is welcomed at any time. Heal the world.
There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. And this place is much brighter than tomorrow. And if you really try, you'll find there's no need to cry. In this place, you feel there's no hurt or sorrow. There are ways to get there if you care enough for the living. Make a little space, make a better place. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me.
Stay in tune. We are going to be talking about how to fight fear. I think that is the most important thing. If you're going to fight, fight, but then you need to fight fear, hey?
Love is strong, it only cares for joyful giving. If we try, we shall see. In this bliss we cannot feel. There are dreams, we stop existing and start living. Then it feels that always love's enough, always growing. Make a better world, make a better world. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for living, make a better place for you and for me. And the dream we were conceived in will reveal a joyful face. And the world we once believed in will shine again in grace. Then why keep strangling me when this earth crucified its soul? Though it's plain to see this world is heavenly. Be God's love, make it fly so high. Let our spirits never die. In my heart, I feel you are all my brothers. Create a world with no fear. Together we'll cry happy tears. See the nations turn their swords into plowshares. We could really get there if you cared enough for the living. Make a little space to make a better place. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. Make a better place for you and for me. Make a better place for you and for me. Where we live for me, for our children for me. The world we live for me, for our children.
Yeah, sugar, sugar.
Sugar, oh honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Honey, oh sugar, sugar, you are my candy girl.
Okay, and we're talking about how to fight fear because there's two people here in a relationship and you guys love each other. But the next time you find yourself in a relationship fight, you need to use 10 steps to fight fear. So I think that boxing gloves out, bring out the rules. Okay, so maybe you guys should write, these rules down. Five each. You write 5, she writes 5. But take down notes because this is very important. And if you have lost this program somewhere in the Capital Radio page, on my page, on Facebook, you can always get me on WhatsApp 065 421 1380, and I will most certainly send the material to you and you can then connect to it. But don't think that you've completely missed it, or if your friend says that she's listened to a good program, and if they're having problems, most certainly you can WhatsApp me and I will send the material to you. But point number 1 when you're fighting fear is to stay focused on the conflict. So it's easy to stray from the real conflict when you have all the other issues coming in every now and then. But, when you fight in a relationship, especially when you're on the losing side, because you can sense when you're on the losing side, you may start arguing about how a partner, probably leaves you alone at a party and always is with the friends or something like that, or goes off to his mother or her mother. And then, when you're at the mother-in-law's house, whether it's the male or the female, you always get to sit alone in the lounge and everybody else is, congregating somewhere else. But, whatever it is, or your mate doesn't help with the chores, but focus on that being the topic. So don't go onto, but last month this happened and last week that happened, because the moment you do that, you're going to be then pulling out the fights you had there and what you said and I said, and then the whole thing is now gone away from the fact that you're fighting about an issue at that time. So but is that really helping you to make the point? No, actually, if anything, you're just getting deeper and deeper into a hole. And and then there will be a shutdown. There'll be a fight shutdown. Absolutely, your partner will get frustrated. You get frustrated. You just keep reeling all the old stories out of the cupboard, and then you clean forget that you have a story right in front of you that you need to chat about, and then you need to finish up. So easy focus here on one aspect. And if both of you have the rules, the page rules in front, or maybe stick it on the wall in the bedroom or something, then you need to say, hey, you're breaking rule number 1. This is not our focus. This is the topic. Let's just sit with this. And especially, experts say this can easily happen, like say somebody cheated in a relationship, or it was a huge transgression in a relationship, or went off to a party and got really drunk and never told, B about it. And B was, irritated, and that can come out in a fight. And it's no use, picking on what has happened and say, yeah, that is why, you left me and you did this and you did that and what have you. Because when the moment you do that and bring up, what happened, then it's going to mar the whole issue. So actually remind each other that you're bringing up a past issue. Okay, let's go back, but don't bring up past issues. And if you want to know how to fight fair in a relationship, because that is the thing that will always shut the argument down, and everybody's going to walk away. But unnecessary, it's totally unnecessary. Don't bring the details. The experts say if your partner cheated or whatever, there's no need to bring it up. Just stick to the focus topic, your feature topic. Think about Ini, and the feature topic for today is okay, and don't digress. There's really no need, just because you want to win an argument. When you're losing an argument, often the person will pick on something that is negative in the other person. Why does that always happen? It does. When you are losing an argument, you will always pick up some point, an argument that they lost, or something that the other person did that was so negative they can't possibly be right on it. They were totally wrong in doing A, B, or C. And when you pick on that, then you know that you're on a winning streak. And that's how you win the argument. You win the argument by the other person getting frustrated, irritated because you picked on the past, and walks away. And you think you won the argument. You didn't win the argument. You actually shut the argument down. And then what happens to the thing that you were talking about right there? Yeah, that gets buried under the hatchet. And that is the thing that's going to be the cancer in your relationship. The cancer in your relationship is going to come from all the unfinished arguments and fights and all the misgivings, So if you keep doing that, you can do that. You can continue to do that, and you can keep winning an argument. It's very easy to win an argument on a negative. Bring out a negative, the smoking or the drinking or the excessive gambling or whatever, and you win and gamble the rent away or whatever. You're going to win, but on what? Because, on what strength? Because you are going to be shifting away from the focus topic. So don't use that low blow, because that is a low blow. And sometimes when you are doing that, or when all you see is red because you are losing an argument, and you're in the losing side, the easiest way to hurt the other person or to win an argument is to hurt the other person. And when you do that, it's not winning an argument. The experts say that is not winning the argument. It's really, really that you've now shut down the argument. You've actually ruined everything. So you need to stick to the topic as well. Okay, so just if you don't, then you need to, when you walk away and you think, okay, I shouldn't have done that, come back to the argument, come back and say, okay, we need to just get back to this. I'm sorry, I brought that up. Okay, so that's fighting fair, and always avoid the low blow, avoid the past, avoid the negatives, and anything that can traumatize your partner for a long time or hurt your partner or get them to cry. Never ever leave the partner crying. That's the other thing. But we're going to be doing music right now, and it's Whitney Houston and I Will Always Love You.
If I should stay, I would only be in your way, so I'll go, but I know I'll think of you every step of the way. And will always love you. Will always love you. You, my darling, you. Bittersweet memories, that is all I'm taking with me. So goodbye, please don't cry. We both know I'm not what you need.
Billy Ocean, an African Queen.
Now we're sharing the same dream, and our hearts they're beating one. No more love on the run. I lose my cool when she steps in the room, and I get so excited just from her perfume. Electric eyes that you can't ignore, and passion burns you like never before. I was in search of a good time, just running my game, yeah. Love was the furthest from my mind, yeah. Caribbean queen, now we're sharing the same dream. Don't wanna stop, our hearts they're beating one. Ooh, no more love on the run. I love you, I need you. Caribbean queen, now we're sharing the same dream. Don't wanna stop, our hearts they're beating one. Ooh, yeah, no more love on the run. Caribbean queen, now we're sharing the same dream, and our hearts they're beating one. My lady, my baby, no more love on the run. Caribbean queen, now we're sharing the same dream, and our hearts they're beating one.
You at Capital Radio, and it's Innie, and the show is called All Things Considered. And we are playing the coolest music, retro music, all the music you've grown up with and, you know, enjoyed as a child. And we're talking about how to fight fair, because it's about relationships and the rules to hold down a good relationship and a long-lasting relationship. There are rules, yes. Okay, and besides the, you know, give me my space rule and respect me my rule, there are many other rules that you need to take into consideration. And we've been just talking about that, you know, throughout the morning. And if you've just joined us, you know, it's all about working together, you know, being, not behaving like children, and learning to spend your quality time together, and understand, you know, that obviously your, you know, that your partner needs, you know, to have their space, and compliment your partner, and dress up for your partner, and never argue in public, and be the shoulder to lean on. And, you know, obviously, you know, you can say a white lie, but you can't be lying all the time. You need to be honest, you know, with each other. And really, really, you know, you tend to like just take things for granted. So the experts are saying, you know, you still need to celebrate the special days, compliment your partner, and never intentionally try to make your partner feel bad over things, but learn to forgive as well without holding grudges. And, you know, and that comes with respect to your partner wholeheartedly, and give, you know, and obviously there are things that they can do, and there are things that they can't do. They have non-skills and they have skills, and you've got to respect them for both. So you can't compare your partner with other people as well, and understand. Also, a very interesting thing that experts have brought up is that your partner is going to have crushes on other people. There are going to be times when they are going to admire somebody. When I say crushes, it's admire, admiration for someone else that cooks better than you, or if it's a man that does, the household do-it-yourself better than them. But if you have a husband who's useless at do-it-yourself, but he's a great mathematician, and or he's a great father, but he may not be able to hold a hammer properly. So don't keep talking about the fact that he can't hold a hammer properly. Maybe you should talk about the fact that he's always, wonderful with the children, and he's always, taking them out and giving them the best time. So you need to understand that there are positives, and yes, that you might admire somebody else and say that. So the husband can't get angry over that, and the wife can't get angry over him saying, but this person bakes so well. It is going to happen. So, it's not like he's going to take this woman and go off and have an affair, or you, especially if you are following the rules of the relationship. But that can happen. And trust your partner and your little voice. We were talking about that the other day as well. We have such cool topics on this show. We were talking about your gut instincts and that sixth sense and that little voice that keeps coming up. Some people say it's God. But, some people say that, it's just a little small, niggly thing. Somebody phoned me yesterday and was saying, yeah, it's just a little thing, voice that says that. But that's just it. You have to trust your gut instincts. I was talking about someone whose wife came back from a jog, suddenly after so many years. She's been jogging and jogging and jogging in Cape Town. And he used to just let her go around 4:30 or something. Then one day he just woke up and he just said, yeah, I think my wife is having an affair. Just out of the blue. He didn't even have a sixth sense before that. But he woke up and he had this crazy feeling in the stomach. And that's what we were talking about. When your gut, how do you know it's your gut feeling? That it translates into something physical, almost like you're feeling sick or you're feeling like not so lekker. Right? Okay, to use a South African word on that. But anyway, he wasn't feeling so good about this. And he just confronted her when she came home and said, are you having an affair on me? And she said, how did you know? So she admitted to it and walked out. But, trust your gut instincts, even if others say otherwise. Trust yours, okay? Because never grumble with your inner sixth sense, okay? And don't say things under your breath, like the person can't hear it. Because if anything frustrates somebody and can really, really get somebody angry is when you start mumbling and grumbling and saying things under your breath, okay? So we're talking about also how to fight fair. So we're going to go on with some of the rules on how to fight fair. And now, we're still on relationship rules, and we are going to be taking it a little bit further after Celine Dion, and she's finished with When I Need You. Such a classic, this, hey?
When I need love, I just close my eyes and I'm with you. You're only a heartbeat away.
And if you lived in Durban, I'm sure you remember, Stringfellas and Gay Sands and, the Solnamara. The ways used to play these all the time.
When I need you, I just close my eyes and I'm with you. And all that I so want to give you, it's only a heartbeat away. When I need love, I hold out my hands and I touch love. I never knew there was so much love keeping me warm night and day. Miles and miles of empty space in between us. A telephone can't take the place of your smile. Ooh, but I won't be traveling forever. It's cold out, but hold out and do like I do when I need you. I just close my eyes and I'm with you. And all that I so want to give you, baby, it's only a heartbeat
driver. Honey, that's a heavy load that we bear. But you know I won't be traveling a lifetime. It's cold out, but hold out and do like I do. When I need love, I hold out my hands and I touch love. And I never knew, oh, never knew there was so much love keeping me warm night and day. Oh, when I need you, just close my eyes. I just close my eyes. All that I see, I can't let myself. It's only a heartbeat away. When I need, just close my eyes. When I know that I should, it's only a heartbeat away.
Whole new world.
I can show you the world. Shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go. Say we're only dreaming.
A whole new world.
You and me, that's what it's all about, people. You and me, and trying to keep the relationship. You know, I do a lot of these relationship programs during the lockdown. And the one thing that I kept on saying is that there's no potential to meet anybody else new. You're going to be doing this online. And believe you me, you get some real riffraffs, online, and people chances, and people that are not even worth the salt that they type in that they are. So, you are going to be landing up with major issues if you think that you're going to be leaving your current relationship. Just try and hang on to what you have, because you're certainly not going to find anybody with the mask covering the whole face. The only thing you're going to see is the eyes, and that's not going to be good enough, okay? You need to see the whole face, and I promise, I'm just joking. But anyway, I don't know how people are going to fall in love anymore, because, it's all about looking at the face and engaging that face. But, as things aside, I just think that, it's going to be really difficult for you to leave a relationship. That is being immature. I think you need to fix what you got. And I don't know how many people agree with me, but fixing is not going to be easy, but you can do this yourselves. You really don't need a relationship counselor. Get a good friend or something, get some mediators, and, sit down and talk about it. But, the other thing that the experts do say is that you need to find the child in you. You need to behave like children. You need a few like pillow fights and, and cute wrestles that can not hurt anybody and roll around a bit, just to help you both enjoy this relationship. Be spontaneous with your affections. Don't always wait for special occasions. It's not about special occasions. You go out to the shopping center and you see a cute little pair of earrings, buy it for your husband, your wife, and you go out and you see a lovely, let's say you see a hammer and he doesn't have a hammer. Yes, buy it for him. Okay, there you go. But it's all about, taking care of each other, really, and finding, that little space between you two. But anyway, so whatever works, no relationship is alike. Instead of learning, from someone else's relationship, learn from your own, your relationship successes and your failures, because you need to analyze your own and make self-analysis comes from there, really. And, when you watch him play a game, when you watch him with the kids, cheer him on and tell him how proud you are to be, his wife, and vice versa. That also works for husbands as well. And, you just need to find the things that is going to, excite the partner, and also find your love language. Really, the 5 love languages is a very, very real thing. So different people will expect different things, and they respond to different types of love languages. So some people would want to hear, I love you, I love you, I love you all the time, and hear praises. But other people respond to praises, and other people respond to actions. So don't tell me you love me, don't give me a present, but do something for me, like maybe a foot massage or something like that, or a head massage. So everybody is different. Everybody is different, and you just need to find out how the other person reacts in a situation and what is their love language. But if we were talking about fights and doing fair fighting, it's all about fighting fair. Don't bring in the past. Don't hit it below the belt. Stay focused on that conflict. Write down these rules to fight fair, and keep it in front of you all the time, so that you keep reminding yourself. It's very easy to go off on a tangent and then you forget all those rules of fighting fair, and you don't bring up the past issues, and you don't use the low blow. That's very important. Don't be sarcastic as well. Don't use sarcasm, because when you're losing an argument, then be adult enough to accept that you're losing that argument. Don't bring in some other negative that is going to make you win the argument. It's not about winning. It's about discussing something and getting to the bottom of it, and listen to each other. Very, very important that the relationship counselors say you've got to give time out. And one relationship counselor said that you need to put the timer on. Get an egg timer. Do whatever you need to do, but get an egg timer seriously and put it between you, and give each one like 2 minutes to talk, and then say, okay, time's up. I need to talk. Okay, and well, you need to be flexible as well, but But somebody needs to do this. You guys need to do this. So nobody else is going to do it for you. And as I said, it's now with what is happening with COVID, you can't possibly jump your relationship. You need to find what's going to work in that relationship. And no matter how bad things are, don't seek other people as comfort zones. Don't go out and seek the third person, because it just complicates the relationship. Having affairs, cheating doesn't work, because just think of all the patches you need to patch up, the holes you need to patch up. It doesn't work. It really, it's like crumpled paper. You can't iron it again. So you'd rather just deal with the torn paper right in front of you right there. Okay, so listen to each other. Very important. Use the egg timer. Give each other space to talk. And although you may feel wronged by an accusation or whatever, but look at it in an adult way. You may, that person may have a very valid point to retaliate with. There you go. So we're doing, fighting fair. Okay, I never thought that I'd be, discussing fighting fair and using the best boxing gloves ever to do it. But we are going to be doing a very old classic right now. I love this song. I Can See Clearly Now by Jimmy Cliff. And that's what it's all about. It's about really seeing clearly after, the fight.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. Oh yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. Bright sunshiny day. Yeah. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. Yeah. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day.
And if you saw Grease, you'll know what we're talking about. Hopelessly Devoted to You, Olivia Newton-John.
Guess mine is not the first heartbroken. My eyes are not the first to cry. I'm not the first to know. There's just no getting over you. You know I'm just a fool who's willing to sit around and wait for hopelessly devoted to you. But now there's nowhere to hide since you pushed my love aside. I'm out of my head, hopelessly devoted to you. Hopelessly devoted to you. Hopelessly devoted to you. My head is saying, fool, forget him. My heart is saying, don't let go. Hold on to the end. That's what I intend to do. Hopelessly devoted to you. But now there's nowhere to hide since you pushed my love aside. I'm out of my head, hopelessly devoted to you. Hopelessly devoted. Hopelessly
Yes, hopelessly devoted to you. I hope you are going to be saying these words to your partner when we are finished with all the rules, okay? Because you need to go and have a separate meet and talk after the program and get all the notes from me, of course, and talk about how we're going to move forward with our relationship and, kiss and make up in the end. That's what the counselors say. You just got to, you can't blame everybody else and someone else, and especially your partner for where you are and your misfortunes and, where you are. If your alarm doesn't ring in the morning, you can't blame your partner for it, and you can't say, well, it was your business to wake me up, and it was your duty to wake me up. The relationship counselors have made it quite clear that it's your responsibility. Okay, it still comes back to you, so don't depend on the second person for that. And if it doesn't go off, it doesn't go off, and also listen to that person's reason for perhaps not waking you up. If they've done it every day, something may have happened before. Just taking off and going off the cuff and raising your voice, which comes to the next point. You can't raise your voice, when an argument happens, because the experts say that raising your voice, worked in the Roman times and when they didn't have mics. But nowadays, you can't do that. In the Roman Senate, that's what happened. They raise their voice all the time. But it will never help you in a relationship tussle, because you're talking to the person who's right there. And when one person raises their voice, and especially uses foul language, it can tend to really infuriate the other person, and and even throw things out of the cot, and then that particular discussion can end. So it will just infuriate the partner, and the other partner may start yelling, and then both of you are yelling on top of your voices, and the neighbors will come, and then it's such a frustration and an embarrassment at the same time. But never make a mountain out of a molehill. Just keep thinking about, focus on, really, do I really have to react like this now? It could have been just something that, okay, it was a once-off thing. If it's happening over and over and over again, then you need to really address it and say, this is becoming a little bit of a problem for me. Don't say, well, you've got a problem, because again, the experts will say, and I've done a little bit of counseling myself and psychology, so I know that the focus has to be on that person, it's better to say, there's a little bit of a problem, I'm finding a little bit of a problem with this, rather than saying you are the problem, or you are doing this and that is the problem. When you start with you, it immediately gets them on the wrong foot, because then it's attacking somebody. And when you start with You know, I've just been finding it a bit difficult recently when you haven't been waking me up. That gets another perspective on it. And when you try to stay best in control and speak with a calm voice, everything gets thought out properly. It also helps your partner to calm down. Maybe the partner will just say, oh, well, you know, I think we're making a mountain out of a molehill. You know, the more frustrated you get, the worse it gets. The more calm you get, the better it gets, kind of thing. And, you know, there are rules also on how to communicate in a relationship as well. But you don't gloat over your wins, because if you won a relationship, argument previously, won an argument, then you don't keep saying, yeah, but I was wrong, I was right in that situation. You know, I'm always right in that situation. No, you could win 9 arguments and lose the 10th. Okay, so there you go. So you can't gloat over it. And when you want to fight fair in a relationship, you should learn to accept any apology with absolute humility. You know, don't decry. You need to say, okay, thank you, whatever it is, it's an apology, but behaving in a bossy manner and saying, yeah, I told you so, yeah, you know, that's behaving like that and gloating over the fact that your partner has apologized to you and that you have the upper hand and it's the feathers landing up on your cap, will only force your partner to become the person that will never apologizes again. Because when they apologize, then you want to take that and run away with it, you know, and the trophy comes with you, it goes with you. So don't do that, you know. Start, you know, thinking, well, okay, thank you very much for apologizing. Share the trophy. That's the way it should be. And it's a win-win after that as well. Kiss and make up, hug, and that's how it should be. There you go, and we got more music coming out right here and in my playlist right now. Bee Gees, Love You Inside Out.
Baby, I can figure it out. Your kisses taste like honey. Sweet lies don't give me no rise on what you're trying to do.
88.1 FM is definitely going to be our FM, broadband. So we are going to be getting on there soon, hopefully when lockdown is over, because we do have a mast and we are going to be getting onto the mast soon. But in the meanwhile, we can live stream, and there's no reason why you can't get your favorite station, on the live stream. But the last rule, the last thing for the day is that, as infuriating as it might be to stay with a partner in a relationship, always hug, kiss, make up after a fight, even if you don't come to, you couldn't come to a conclusion. It's fine. You agree to disagree. But the main thing, the most important thing that experts do agree on is never ever lock yourself up in a room and play the ostrich, bury your head in the sand kind of game, because it's so immature. And you guys are adults and you should be able to talk about it. So never go and just lock yourself up in a room and feel that well, that's going to make it right. It's not going to make it right, because the other person is going to see, and the other person is going to probably leave you locked in the room and go and seek out a new partner. So yes, that's what he's going to do, or that's what she's going to do. She's going to go and look for somebody else that just going to tell these stories to. So when things go wrong in a relationship, understand something. There's got to be venting. There's got to be venting somewhere. And if you don't address it and you want to play the head in the ground and stick your head in the sand kind of thing with the ostrich, and lock yourself in a room, and worse still, storm out of the house. Yeah, storm out of the house and say, I'm going to a friend or whatever. Remember, it gives time to the other person to sit and seethe about this and to be angry over what has happened, and there can be no end to that anger. That anger can take it to the next level, and that is to go and have an affair, to go and find somebody else that he or she can rat with and can say, can you believe that my husband or my wife did this, or my partner, or she did this and he did this? And that person is going to listen with all ears. You're going to drive that person, your partner, right out of your life. So, think again. Think where you want this car to go, okay? And map that destination. And know that no matter where you take that car, the car being the relationship, it's got to come back and park in your garage. So, yeah, that at the end of the day, if you don't want that to happen, you are going to throw all the toys out of the cot. You're going to do the ostrich approach. You're going to, sit in your room and gloat. You're going to lock yourself up in a room, or, worse still, huff and puff and go away. And somebody else is going to take the string and run with it. And don't blame anybody else. Don't say, well, you went and had an affair. You were the one that actually is to blame, because you let it run. You let it loose. So, whenever this happens, like an affair or cheating or whatever, think about what you did in that, not in all situations. This doesn't happen in all situations. I'm not saying that it does. So don't hold me against. But we are saying that when things fall apart, and it's fight after fight after fight after fight, you can do that. I mean, if your relationship is going fine and everything is going perfectly fine, and you guys are having a ball of a time, being together, and suddenly one has an affair, and you're like, really, where did that come from? Because we were doing fine together. So maybe you've got a partner that just suppresses everything. But if you are having fight after fight after fight, and you're not addressing the issues, and it just becomes infuriating frustration, and you're just closing the lid every single time because somebody wants to pull up, a time when they won the fight, or a negative, or and make a comment that's below the belt. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So, okay, I hope that, I've helped by bringing all this, to the fore. And I do wish all you guys a wonderful relationship. We're going to do news headlines when you come back. And right now we have music for you, and we've got Bill with us. Lovely day. I hope it's going to turn out to be a lovely day and a lovely month and a lovely year for all of you with your relationships especially.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something
Something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. I just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely
Professor Kuleka Mlisana takes reins as MAC COVID-19 co-chair, Abdul Karim to return to HIV research. Amid Zondo inquiry, toxicity Mpofu should not be singled out over shut-up comments, and that's by Madenzela. As it happened, you can watch that on News 24. CONCOT reserves judgment against Zuma for failing to appear before Zondo Commission. And a country of losers, the attitude that drove former Bain Fixer to State Capture Commission. That's also on the news as well. And man in Ndebele attire was told to leave Click's store for dressing indecently. Professor Salim Abdul Karim announces end of term as co-chair of COVID-19 Advisory Committee and Tokyo Olympics to be a shower of unity and a chance to connect. And that was the news headlines right here on Capital Radio with Ini, and the show is called All Things Considered. We are now going to end the show, and I just hope that you had a wonderful, wonderful time with me. And as I said with those words, don't lock yourself up in a room, and just shut it all up, because that's not going to help you at all, so come out of the room and, come back from your drive and huff and puff away drive and talk about things. But, I'd like to leave you with those kind of thoughts, and I hope it's going to definitely, help you over there. So whatever works for you. And we have some more music just before you go away, so you can just, I can play out with some really, really nice Michael Bublé, Haven't Met You Yet, and Half the Way, Crystal Gale. And I think you're going to enjoy that as well. And, I just want to leave you with my thought for the day. Forgiveness is nothing but recognizing the reality that what has happened has already happened, and that there's no point in allowing it to dominate the scene and the scene for the rest of your life. So, happy people, remember, build their inner world, and unhappy people really blame their outer world for all the unhappiness. And if we can just go by those little thoughts for the day, I think that we can make the world a better place for all of us to live in as well. But from me, Ini, and the show, All Things Considered, a very, very warm welcome. A very, very warm goodbye from me. And I hope that you're going to be taking care, because the third wave is on the way, according to the experts, and we don't want to get caught in that. But anyway, this is Michael Bublé and Haven't Met You Yet. And after that, you're going to listen to Half the Way, Crystal Gale.
I'm not surprised, not everything lasts. I've broken my heart so many times I stopped keeping track. Talk myself in, I talk myself out. I get all worked up, then I let myself down. I tried so very hard not to lose it. I came up with a million excuses. I thought of every possibility. Make me work so we can work to work it out. And I promise you, kid, that I'll give so much more than I get. I just haven't met you yet. I might have to wait, I'll never give up. I guess it's half timing and the other half's luck. Wherever you are, whenever it's right, you'll come out of nowhere and into my life. And I know that we can be so amazing. And baby, your love is gonna change me. And now I can see every possibility. Somehow I know that it'll all turn out. You'll make me work so we can work to work it out. You kid, I get so much more than I get. I just haven't met you yet. They say all's fair in love and war, but I won't need to fight it. We'll get it right, we'll be united. See every single possibility. And someday I know it'll all turn out, and I'll work to work it out. Promise you, kid, I'll give more than I get. that I get, that I get, that I get. Oh, you know it'll all turn out, and you'll make me work so we can work to work it out. And I promise you can to give so much more than I get. Yeah, I just haven't met you yet. I just haven't met you yet. Oh, promise you can to give so much more than I get. I said love, 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 love. I just haven't met you yet. I just haven't met you